Hello everybody, and welcome to another Let's Play. I'm Furiora Helseare, and welcome to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Oh yes. Classic game from way back in the day, and in my opinion one of the best Star Wars games ever created. This is a role-playing game based off of the Dungeons & Dragons system, which happens in the background of the game, but it is there if you know where to look for it. This does indeed work off a D20 system. So, we're going to begin a new game. And here are our character choices. You'll immediately see one mod I'm running, but we'll go over that in a minute. So, we have 3 classes to pick from, male and female. We have the soldier, which is a melee-based class. It says there, a battle-ready fighter with no equal in combat. Gets the most feats, which are like your combat abilities and some other things as well. Yeah, generally they're your melee guys. The male scout is an explorer, most at home on the fringes of space. He gets some really good feats for free. He does. He gets the implant feats for free, and he gets flurry for free as well at his first level. Less HP than the soldier, but generally has more skill points. This is like a middle stat. He's pretty good at combat, pretty good at skills, but he's not the greatest at either. The scoundrel here, a skillful rogue that gets spy on stealth and guile, so I will create. This is your melee fighter, this is your ranged fighter, this is your sneaky kind of character. Rogues have the best amount of skills, which is doing things like picking locks or being stealthy, stuff like that. But they don't get many feats, so they're not very good in combat. They do get some good feats for free that no other class gets, like sneak attack and scoundrel's luck. But I don't play as there very often. These two are the only classes I've ever actually played as, and I generally lean towards the soldier because I like to be in melee combat a lot. And considering the fact that while I am of both genders, I am more feminine in my appearance, we're going to be picking the female soldier. There is no difference as far as I'm aware, major gameplay wise, for male or female. It's just the possible romance options, I suppose, because there are a couple of characters you can go into it with. Obviously you can't. This game was made at a time where same-sex relationships were very much looked down upon, and thus they were never considered. There are some mods to allow that though. But it matters not, I don't think we're going to get involved. I'm probably going to be playing through 3 runs of this game. I do have 2 Star Wars characters, one of which is a Jedi, the other of which is a Sith. And so I'll be playing those games mostly, I'll play through this game again, mostly sticking to those alignments. But this one is going to be how I would handle the situation with no prior knowledge of the game itself. Which is going to be difficult for me to do because there are some areas where my judgment is going to be led one way or the other. For that, I actually have I'll go get a dice or something, and I'll roll it to determine which way I go. For example, there's one scene I know of where you can head left or right, and heading one way yields a particular result if you don't get something from somewhere else first. So I'm going to go and I'll roll a dice at that point to see which way I decide to go, because I would always take the option I know doesn't lead to the bad event happening, but my character wouldn't know that ahead of time. So we're going to create a custom character. You never go quick character, you always go custom. Portrait. This is the portrait we're going to be using. It was nice enough to select it for me. This is a mod, obviously. But demonic form does have small scales. They're very difficult to spot with the naked eye, but they are there. Just from a distance they look like skin, but actually do have scales. They're not green, they are purple of course, but we'll go with this one. Attributes. Just like in D&D, you have 6 attributes: strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom and charisma. Now, we're going to allocate my stats how I usually allocate my stats in games like this. I'm going to put 16, 10, 12, 10, 16, 10, using up all of our points. This is in order. Strength, which is so we can hit harder in melee combat. It says here that lightsabers are listed here, but there's also a theory going around that lightsabers are quote-unquote finesse weapons, which means you can use your dexterity modifier instead if it's higher. But I don't know that for certain. I've never had much testing done with it. I only saw it mentioned in one strategy guide. But we're going to go with strength, because I know that affects lightsabers, because we're going to be mainly in melee combat. And during the beginning of the game too, we're going to be mainly using vibroblades, so I want to be able to use that. Dexterity is reflexes and ranged attack rolls, and it also increases characters' defense rating if they're not wearing heavy armor. Just like in the dragons, different levels of armor have maximum dexterity bonuses that they allow you to have. So even if you have a higher dexterity bonus, you won't gain anything higher because you're wearing the armor that's restricting you. How to make that. Constitution, as it says there, is your health and resiliency. Basically increases the maximum health you have, and that's why I like to get it to a +1. You'll notice the way I've allocated my stats for all of them. I still have 1 point, I've spent a video. I thought I'd put 16 into that. I've angled my stats so none of them have minuses. I don't like having, I mean, I could take a couple of points out of dexterity and increase my constitution by another 2, make it +2 modifier, but I'd rather have nothing with a minus. I like to have no penalties, I like to be even. Intelligence, I never find myself using any skills on my main character. The only one I ever use is treat injury. You'll have party members to do other things like pick locks and such, so I've always never bothered with the skill points. Wisdom, now here's the thing as well, I like my character to be an all-rounder. In my general setup I have 1 dedicated offense Jedi, 1 dedicated support ranged Jedi that I'll often have using blasters, not their lightsaber, and then using force powers at the back, just as a support role, and then 1 that can kind of dish out offensive force powers and be good in lightsaber combat, and that's my character. And so what, the way I would always recommend living like this is to be a good all-rounder, you have to level opposite to what your class is. So my class is a soldier and will eventually be becoming a Jedi Guardian. It's a very melee-based class. So I have to choose to level my stat allocations as if I was a sorcerer, because my natural abilities are in combat, so I'm going to get a lot of bonus feats and such. They're going to augment my combat, but not so much to augment my force powers. So I've got to level my character as if they were a mage to balance out the force powers. This is I like doing this. You could theoretically just have 2 dedicated offense units at the front and 1 at the a support at the back. I'd always say go with 2 because a single tank tends to get overwhelmed in the midst of combat. But there are certain moments when you will have to play a tough part of the game solo, so I like to be able to do everything. And then charisma I never really used persuasive abilities, so I never really bother with it. Out of all the, I prioritise the main stats that I want to have, which is strength so I can hit things, and wisdom so I'm a decent spellcaster, and the rest are just, like, again, I like to not have any penalties, and just with the leftover stats I have after bringing everything up to the penalties, Constitution's the most valuable to me because I'm going to be hitting things with a lightsaber, so I need to be able to take some punishment. Therefore, Constitution's greater for me. Skills. These are the things governed by intelligence. As you can see, we have 4 skill points. Occasionally, if you have put more in intelligence, you'll get more of these. The only one we're going to be using with this character is treat injury. I'm going to put all our points every time into treat injury. Just like 3.5, your maximum amount of points you can spend is equal to your level plus 3 in class skills. So treat injury is 4, we can have a maximum of 4. If we had more points, we can only put 4 into treat injury because that's the maximum allowed we can have, because our level is 1 and our rank is 3. So our level is 1, so then plus 3 is 4. You see this one here, I think most of these. Yeah, so demolitions, awareness and treat injury, everything is what's called a cross-class skill, which means they're not primarily something a soldier would work on. Therefore we have to spend 2 points to gain 1 level. In the Dragon's speak, you actually spend a point for a half level that doesn't count, and then you have to spend another point to get a full level. In this game it doesn't mean you cost more points. And then the number of levels you get to have there as well is reduced. as well. I forgot to leave that on a level for that one in, but there we go. You can certainly put, like, you can put 2 points into the map, for example. Part of my Skype more is going off. I'm just going to set myself to busy at the moment because I forgot to let everyone know I was going to be doing some recording. Pardon me, guys. I'll cut this bit out. No, we're back, folks. Sorry about that. So that's our skill set up for now. These are the fun stuff. We get given these speeds automatically. Heavy, light, medium, and heavy armor proficiencies, power attack and power blast, and weapon proficiencies from most of our weapons. This all comes naturally. You'll get different speeds of us being different classes. And the first feat we are going to get is 2-weapon fighting, because this character is using 2 weapons. My name, and of course, I'm Furiora. Let's see if we fit it all in. Yes, we can. Play. And a potential cut here if that thing didn't actually show. If you're just staring at a black screen throughout that last cutscene, I'll cut it out. So if you're suddenly joining me again, welcome back after that failed cutscene. So we are waking up in bed as we're being attacked. Things aren't going well.
We've been ambushed by a Sith battle fleet. The Endar Spire is under attack. Hurry up, we don't have much time.
Okay, hang on, slow down. Who are you?
I'm Trask Olgo, ensign with the Republic fleet. I'm your bunkmate here on the Endar Spire.
Bunkmate?
We work opposite shifts. I guess that's why you haven't seen me before.
Yeah, I guess.
Now hurry up. We have to find Bastila. We have to make sure she makes it off the ship alive.
Who's Bastila?
Bastila is the commanding officer on the Endar Spire. Well, not an officer, really. But she's the one in charge of this mission. One of our primary duties is to guarantee her survival in the event of an enemy attack. You swore an oath just like everyone else on this mission. Now it's time to make good on that oath. I've heard all about your reputation. Elite combat training, tops in your class. It's no wonder you were handpicked for this mission. Word is the officers haven't seen a recruit with your kind of potential in 20 years. But all that potential doesn't mean a thing if you can't deliver when it counts. We're soldiers. We're trained for combat. Bastila is going to need men and women like us at her side during this attack.
Okay, let's go help Bastila.
So hurry up and grab your gear. You need to suit up so we can get out of here.
Got it. To go get your gear, we're going to turn the camera around. I'm going to click on the foot locker to open it up. Getting our items and clicking on this blaster symbol allows us to go to our equipment screen. Clicking on the slot allows us to pick what we want to actually use. So without any clothing on, this actually doesn't modify our defense at all, so we could theoretically go around naked if we wanted to. It doesn't actually modify our defense there at all. Okay, we're going to go naked. We are going to equip that short sword. As you can see, at the moment, without any weapons on, we deal between 4 and 4 damage, so we're guaranteed to do 4 damage upon a successful hit, and we have 4 plus 4 to hit. This comes from the fact that we do a base damage of 1 and our strength bonus is plus 3, meaning we deal 1 plus 3 damage, which is 4. We also have a plus 4 chance to hit here. So yeah, that's again coming from our plus 4 strength bonus. So plus 3 strength bonus. Equipping the short sword, we see it has damage physical 1 to 6, which is a 1d6 roll basically. Adding 3 to both of those, which means we'll deal between 4 and 9 damage because we add 3 onto it because of the fact we have the plus 3 strength bonus, and we still have a plus 4 to hit because this weapon isn't unwieldy. It's actually balanced, so if we use this in the offhand when we try to dual wield, this will actually take away 2 of the. This will actually make us lose 2 of the penalties for that, which is good. It kind of balances out wielding 2 weapons.
Okay, let's move out. We should stick together. You'll have more success with a party than on your own.
Trask has joined the party. Da 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 da. Don't know why I'm making it like as an item. You can't deselect him at this point. There are certain points in the game where you'll have to have certain party members with you. Also, he'll get replaced. His picture will get replaced soon. He won't be with our party for long. Spoiler alert.
Because of the attack, this room is in lockdown. But don't worry, I've got the override codes. You'll have to use me to unlock the door.
Okay. So as he would have said if we clicked on him. Click on his portrait to select him, and click on the door to open it.
Now that the door's open, you better take the lead again.
Right. And I would change back, because I'm just going to pause the game here, which is the spacebar on my configuration. I would switch back to Trask, because I know I've got to use him to open this door, because this door needs to be, has a security skill used on it, which I don't have. You can use your main party member if you have security, but I don't. So I would switch back to Trask and use him to open the door. But...
This is Carthonasi. The Sith are threatening to overrun our position. We can't hold out long against their firepower. All hands to the bridge!
That was Karth contacting us on our portable communicators. He's one of the Republic's best pilots. He's seen more combat than the rest of the Endar Spire's crew put together. If he says things are bad, you better believe it. We have to get to the bridge to help defend Bastila. There's a map of the Endar Spire and a copy of Karth's message in your electronic journal, just in case we get separated.
Just for the record, that's actually a lie. Karth does not have more combat experience than the rest of the Endar Spire crew put together. But that's a spoiler, so I'm not going to say. Let's move out. And if you were playing as Trask at this point, it automatically switches back to you. So I'm just going to go to him. And open the door with security. I'll mention if you click on the door, this is security.
These Sith must be the advanced boarding party. For the Republic!
I love how I automatically managed to teleport from behind him to here, by the way. So now I'm going to select this target here and double click on him to engage. It still pauses until I hit the spacebar. The game pauses whenever you sight an enemy, so you can think about the strategic action, which is good. And I'd go use the power attack thing, because I find it gives you a -5 accuracy when you throw it out, and it tends to miss, and there's much better ones you'll get later, so I never tend to use power attack. So pressing spacebar to pause the combat. They actually hit me.
I've got a feeling that won't be our last battle with the Sith. Good thing we have med packs to heal our wounds. It might be a good idea to use one now before our next battle.
Okay, I'm not going to. I don't feel like we have to. I got hit. Well, actually, and I'm getting this glitch.
To use an item like a med...
I know that.
No, that's the first...
Okay. There we go. Sometimes it hacks up. Actually, I'm going to use a med pack just because actually I'm kind of injured. He won't actually mention that if you don't get hit in that previous battle, which can happen. I rarely get hit in that fight. I'm surprised I actually got hit. If you get injured in this fight, he won't actually mention that. Got hit again. Wow, my rolls are shit. For the record, while all this is happening, there's D20 rolls happening in the background. So there is actually a reasoning behind it all. So, always search for amazes, by the way. You can use E and Q to toggle between available targets, which will trigger them for the rest of the controller. Okay. Now actually I'll go for this combat suit on, because it does improve our defense. Defense bonus +4, max dexterity bonus +5. So what this means is, wearing this gives us 4 bonus to defense, and you can see our defense goes from 10 to 14, which makes it a lot harder, which is 4 times harder to be hit about 4 times. The way this system works is when they attack me, they roll their dice, a d20, and add on their stat modifiers, and then compare it to my defense score. If the roll they score is higher than my defense score, they hit me and roll for damage, applying any modifiers there. If their roll does not beat my defense score, in this case 14, it's a miss and they don't get to roll for their damage. The maximum dexterity bonus thing is, while I'm wearing this armor, I can only have a maximum of 5 dexterity. Even if my dexterity bonus would be higher than a 5, I will only get a 5 because this armor restricts my ability to move to the point where I can only get a max 5. This is light armor, however, so any class can wield it, because even the scoundrel starts with light armor. Scout starts with medium armor, and soldiers here start with heavy armor. You can get them later, of course, if you don't start with them, but you start with them in this case. And we're going to replace the short sword with this long sword, which still gives us +4 to hit, but we do more damage. It's got the same... basically, I can tell from looking at this, it rolls a d12. instead of a D6. So we've got a maximum force of 15 with our +3 combat bonus. We're also going to equip the short sword onto our offhand. Actually, we're not. See, we lose the ×4 here, and it goes to 0 - 2 we get for wielding 2 weapons, because you get a penalty for wielding 2 weapons. This would be a lot worse if we did not take that 2-weapon fighting feat. Once we get to level 4, we'll be much better at wielding 2 weapons, because I'll get the improved 2-weapon fighting feat, and then we will probably start using a weapon in each hand. But for now, we're just going to use the single weapon. The blaster rifle is actually a 2-handed weapon, but... And also, we actually use the weapon in both hands, even though it's technically only in one of our hands. We're not bad. I want that viral double blow now. We're gonna throw the grenade. Now my trick here, ignore this combat warning. Unpause, move forward and repause the game. Target the middle one and lob a grenade, you still have to hit the point. Boom! Triple kill. There are more around this corner, and that's why I do that. Because there are more distances around this corner. And see, I killed those effortlessly with this new blade, which is stronger than our current one, and the one we were using before. So it's twice the damage of the sword. Generally, the balanced weapons are smaller, and so they don't hit as hard. Also, recognise those sound effects, people? Because I sure do. See, we've already got that grenade back, plus a med pack on top of that. Speaking of med pack, my rolls are terrible. Always search remains. Always, there's generally good stuff in them. You can use all the help you can get when you've done looting things. I did loot that parts file, right? I'm going to show you a little trick you can do with that. Yes, there's a little trick you can do with that, actually. Think that's the sound effect?
It's a dark Jedi. This fight is too much for us. We better stay back. All we do is get in the way.
It's difficult to tell unless you know the game. It's kind of taking it in turns. That's the Jedi's attack. Now the Sith attack. Now the Jedi attack. Now the Sith roll and one. And then that happens. Guaranteed. Then that happens.
That was one of the Jedi accompanying Bastila. Damn, they could have used her help.
Also, yes, Carth likes to... Not Carth, sorry. Trash likes to swear. That one, and there goes that. Oh, no. You can see noise that. Enemies will often switch to a sword when they're taking a Nelly by shot traps. Do not forget to loot the remains of the Jedi. There's a very important item in here. And no, it's not her lightsaber like Witch. This vibration cell will get us a very powerful sword very soon. Now I'm actually going to take a quick second and equip Trash. You can switch to him by clicking on that, by the way, with a short sword. Because if you try to go into here with a blaster rifle equipped, or blaster, it'll say it's too cramped in here. And this is why. It's a good idea to equip Trash with a blade of some kind.
Not here on the bridge. They must have retreated to the escape pod. We better head that way too. The Sith want Bastila alive, but once she's off the ship, there's nothing stopping them from blasting the Endar Spire into galactic dust.
That may be, but don't forget this backpack. Despite the fact what he said there, you actually have a limited time to complete this level. The ship will never actually die. If you take too long, the duty remains on. Note to people here, you cannot open this door unless you level up. So level up to click on your character when you see a level up symbol beside them. You can do it automatically, but like always level up manually. Each time you level up, you'll usually get to put a point into skills, but not with abilities you actually get to put points into varies. Normally you'll put skills in on most levels. The soldier gets the most feats though, so you won't always get to pick the feats option. Every 4th level, so level 4, level 8, level 12 and level 6, every level that's up to 4, you'll get to add a new attribute point, which was those things you had at the beginning of the game. This feat we're going to take Flurry, which is going to be, once you get up to the master level, it's going to be our main attack move. Now we can open this door. You cannot open this door until we level up. You tried to, Trip Rascal would have saved something. Hi there, Spank Bat. Spank.
Something behind here. Damn, another Dark Jedi! I'll try to hold him off. You get to the escape pods. Go!
People that are familiar with the game will notice another mod running there, which I'll explain more later. But now head to the starboard section of the map. Hit a saving and loading screen.
This is KOTOR on your personal communicator. I'm tracking your position through the Endar Spire's life support systems. Basila's escape pod is away. You're the last surviving crew member on the Endar Spire. Now I can't wait for you much longer. You have to get to the escape pods.
You can tell by the way that message, I never got this when I was younger, but it definitely confirms it. Trask is dead. Darth Brandon there would have killed him out of the place. I'm not sure if these guys actually have more health, but he seems to take a lot longer to kill. I mean, it took a 19, that's a critical hit. And he didn't die. My rolls are pretty shitty today. I never used this many map packs during every sequence. Never. Maybe it's just that one stronger.
Be careful. There's a whole squad of Sith troopers on the other side of that door. You need to find some way to thin their numbers. You could reprogram the damaged assault droid to help you, if you have enough repair parts. Or you could use computer spikes to slice into the terminal and use the Endar Spire's security systems against the Sith.
Now what he doesn't tell you in that is you can actually use both. And this is why I looted that part pile, because without it I don't actually have enough parts to fully repair this droid. You need 8 parts to fully repair it, unless you have some skill in repair, which will decrease the amount of parts you need. But because I looted that parts pile earlier on, I now have 8 parts, so I can repair this droid even with no penalty, even with no bonus. Reactivate the droid, engage its shield, engage it into control mode, and leave it alone. I'm going to pause the game right here. The droid's now active and will open that door and begin blasting at the Sith. What you can do, however, is quickly click on the security panel to run over it and engage the security thing. They won't shoot me even though I'm technically in their line of fire because I'm in this thing. Now over at the power panel, the game doesn't actually tell you you can do both of them like that. But you can. You have to be quick though. And I've tried it before where I've done that and then tried to activate the droid and it won't let me. You have to do it quick. Check this remains and do not miss this guy's remains. For that, the prototype vibroblade, you'll need that.
You've made it just in time. There's only one active escape pod left. Come on, we can hide out on the planet below.
Well, you won't need it, but it can become a powerful weapon if you know what you're doing with it. Who are you?
I'm the soldier with the Republic, like you. We're the last 2 crew members left in the Endar Spire. Basila's escape pod's already gone, so there's no reason for us to stick around here and get shot by the Sith. Now, come on, there'll be time for questions later.
So you're just going to walk over to the escape pod and use it. Possibly another cut here. I'm honestly not sure if it records those cutscenes.
Good to see you up instead of thrashing about in your sleep. You must have been having one hell of a nightmare. I was wondering if you were ever going to wake up. I'm Karth, one of the Republic soldiers from the Endar Spire. I was with you in the escape pod. Do you remember?
Right, I'm Furiora Helseare, by the way. How did we get here?
We've been slipping in and out of consciousness for a couple of days now, so I imagine you're pretty confused about things. But try not to worry. We're safe. At least for the moment. We're in an abandoned apartment on the planet of Terrace. You were banged up pretty bad when our escape pod crashed, but luckily I wasn't seriously hurt. I was able to drag you away from our crash site and all the confusion, and I stumbled into this abandoned apartment. By the time the Sith arrived on the scene, we were long gone.
I guess I owe you my life. Thanks.
You don't have to thank me. I've never abandoned anyone on a mission, and I'm not about to start now. Besides, I'm gonna need your help. Terrace is under Sith control. Their fleet is orbiting the planet, they've declared martial law, and they've imposed a planet-wide quarantine. But I've been in worse spots. I saw on your service records that you understand a remarkable number of alien languages. It's pretty rare in a raw recruit, but it should come in handy while we're stranded on a foreign world. There is no way the Republic will be able to get anyone through the Sith blockade to help us. If we're gonna find Bastila and get off this planet, we can't rely on anybody but ourselves.
Bastila, she's the one from the Endar Spire, right?
That smack to your head did more damage than I thought.
Oh, thanks.
Bastila's a Jedi. She was with the strike team that killed Darth Revan, Malak's Sith master. Bastila's the key to the whole Republic war effort. The Sith must have found out that she was on the Endar Spire and set an ambush for us in this system. I believe Bastila was on one of the escape pods that crashed down here in Terrace. For the sake of the Republic war effort, we have to try and find her.
Any idea we should start looking?
While you were out, I did some scouting around. There are reports of a couple of escape pods crashing down into the Undercity. It's probably a good place to start. But the Undercity's a dangerous place. We don't want to go there unprepared, and it won't do Bastila any good if we go and get ourselves killed.
The sooner we start looking for Bastila, the sooner we'll find her. Let's go.
Good idea. We can use this abandoned apartment as a base. We can probably get some equipment and supplies here in the upper city. Just remember to keep a low profile. I've heard some grim stories about the Dark Jedi interrogation techniques. They say the Force can do terrible things to a mind. It can wipe away your memories and destroy your very identity. But I figure if we don't do anything stupid, we should be okay. I mean, after all, they're looking for Bastila, not a couple of grunts like us. All right, soldier, let's move out.
So this is why I made it told you to go and get those two items. This workbench here. We're going to use the workbench and upgrade that prototype vibro blade with the thingy cell we got. If we look at our stings here, we have 4 to 15 plus 5. The vibro blades we have are actually weaker, 1 to 10. This prototype is 5 to 14. It's still not quite as good as our longsword though, but still pretty good. It's also guaranteed to hit for a bigger number. It has a lesser higher output, but it's definitely a better lower output. Oops. Didn't actually need to equip that. So, yeah, it can be a pretty good weapon. And for some reason, oh yeah, because we leveled up, we are now slightly better equipped to deal with this. We have a slightly higher base attack bonus now, a base attack bonus of 2 instead of just 1. So now we actually end up with +1, -1, which I might actually take. So here we are with our 2 blades equipped. Press X to flourish them. Y on the Xbox controller. And yeah, this is where we're going to end the first episode. So I'd like to thank you all for watching. I've been Furiora Helseare, and I'll see you in the next part. Until then, very well.